There's a hidden force shaping your team's success. It's scientifically proven, yet many managers are unaware of it or don't know how to unleash it. In this video, I'll reveal what it is, explain the science behind it, and share 5 practical steps for harnessing this force to get the brilliant results you're looking for. As a leadership coach, I can quickly tell whether a team is high performing or leaving potential untapped. And it all comes down to expectations. The number one job of a manager is to set expectations and the direction for their team. But here's the catch. Your expectations have more power than you may think. This is where the first bit of science comes in. In 1968, psychologists Robert Rosenthal and Leonore Jacobson developed a theory called the Pygmalion effect. The name comes from the story of Pygmalion, who was a sculptor in Greek mythology, who created a statue of a woman that was so beautiful he fell in love with it. So intense was his love and expectations for this statue that the goddess Aphrodite brought it to life for him. I know, right? That's quite a way to get out of the dating scene. In the Rosenthal-Jacobson theory, it's a psychological phenomenon where higher expectations lead to improved performance. So when leaders expect more from their team, the team tends to rise to those expectations. The Pygmalion effect works through a cyclical process. It starts with our beliefs in others, which in turn can influence our actions to others, which in turn influences other people's beliefs about themselves, which can then affect their actions, which reinforces our beliefs in them, and so on. This effect was first described in an educational context in the study. So Rosenthal and Jacobson told teachers that certain randomly selected students were intellectual bloomers. By the end of the year, these students showed greater improvements in their IQ scores compared to other peers, despite being chosen at random. Essentially, when leaders, teachers, or authority figures expect more from individuals, those individuals tend to perform better to meet those expectations. So understanding the Pygmalion effect is crucial for you as a manager because it demonstrates the power of expectations in shaping behavior and performance. And as a consequence, highlights the responsibility you have as a leader and authority figure in fostering ambition, growth, and development when you set your expectations. Here are some signs that a manager might not be setting high expectations. They don't give much feedback or avoid that tricky feedback that they know is holding back a particular team member. They micromanage and are reluctant to delegate important tasks, keeping the good stuff for themselves. They set easily achievable goals that don't push the team members to grow, and they ignore those tricky problems that have been around for a year and a day. I think we could all agree we can see some of these around many an office and at all levels. Why don't all managers leverage this powerful effect? I think it's down to 2 core connected reasons. The first is around mindset. Here are 3 news items I read this week. The UK Times. Almost half of recruiters think 57 is too old for a job. Really? As someone in their 50s, this makes me bristle. The Daily Mail. Gen Z, job applicants now so lazy they're getting their parents in capital letters to contact employers to try and get them work. And then a thoughtful Forbes piece on the real impact of return to work office mandates on productivity on the back of the Amazon's edict to go back to a 5-day week from 3 days. Now, if we all sat in a room and discussed these 3 pieces, we would easily bounce into the world of biases and stereotyping. You know, the one piece of evidence. We have a guy, he's 56, he's so old and fixed in his views. That's all 55s must be like that. Or the Gen Z laziness trope, or the working from home. They're all sitting around watching TV. Now, I'm not saying you all think this, but what I am saying is that managers can develop limiting beliefs about their people in their team, and they fall prey to the negative Pygmalion cycle and lower their expectations of that person. As leaders, we have to watch our mindsets. Now, here's a bit more science. So this concept of mindset, particularly the growth mindset popularized by the research of Carol Dweck in her excellent book, also called Mindset, plays a crucial role in achievement. Individuals with a growth mindset believe that their abilities can be developed through effort and learning and persistence. This perspective encourages them to view challenges as opportunities for growth and to persist in the face of setbacks. What's amazing about her research is that mindsets are not fixed traits. So while people may tend towards either a fixed or a growth mindset, they are not permanent or innate characteristics. As a result, it can be developed. And with a bit of effort and practice, people can shift from a more fixed mindset towards a growth mindset. So it's a spectrum, it's not binary. Self-awareness is therefore key in recognizing where you are on that spectrum. And then it allows you to use different strategies to change. And if you do this a lot, the neuroplasticity in your brain supports this change, helping you form new neural connections and helping you be more comfortable with change. As a manager, adopting a growth mindset means believing in your team's potential to develop and improve. It involves seeing challenges as opportunities for learning and viewing effort as a path to be the best that you can be. This mindset shift can significantly impact how you set expectations and support your team's growth. When you embrace a growth mindset, you're way more likely to provide constructive feedback, encourage risk-taking, and celebrate all those little bits of progress rather than just the outcomes. This approach fosters a culture of continuous improvement and resilience within your team. So if mindset is the first reason managers don't leverage the power of setting high expectations, the second is far more mundane, but no less important. It is as simple as they do not give themselves permission or time to think and plan. I'm a firm believer that if a manager asks the right question at the right time, they will get the right answer, or they will know someone who can help them. The critical moment for giving yourself to think as a manager is in quarterly planning, when you can assess where you are and where your team are in terms of your annual goals and translate them into more tangible, doable plans. Quarterly goals laden with high expectations. Now, here's another piece of science to help you here. It's all about neurochemical factors. Achievement is also influenced by neurochemical processes, most notably dopamine. Dopamine is often called the reward hormone. It is directly connected to achievements and motivates individuals to take on repeated challenges. When you accomplish a goal or succeed at a task, your brain releases dopamine, which creates a sense of pleasure and satisfaction. This release reinforces that behavior and leads to more success, encouraging you and your team to pursue similar goals in the future. Knowing this can help you harness its power to achieve your quarterly goals, as it can help you maintain a sense of momentum and achievement in your team, so that you break the larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks, which can provide frequent dopamine releases as you and they complete each step. In order to do this, you need to prioritize the time to think and plan, both of what your expectations are, but also how you are going to communicate these with your team as individuals and as a collective. So let's explore what you can do starting today to harness the power of these science lessons to transform your team's performance. First, work on your mindset. Remember, this is about cultivating a growth mindset. You practice self-awareness, regularly reflect on your own biases and fears and limiting beliefs that might be influencing your expectations of your team, and then nurture a growth mindset with the belief that you and your team members can develop and improve and be a high-performing team that you want them to be. And when those negative assumptions about people pop into your head, actively question and reframe them, focusing on potential rather than limitations. Second, give yourself time to think and plan so that you can set clear goals, and do this by leveraging quarterly planning. The starting point is helping your team to visualize success. Say your expectations out loud often. Describe what a good job well done looks like and what the benefits are to the person, the team, and the organization. This is a time to set higher expectations and get them excited about it. Break larger goals into smaller, specific, manageable tasks so that you can provide frequent dopamine releases as you complete each step. Make work and progress transparent as you track the accomplishments. Keeping a record of achievements, even small ones, reinforces progress and triggers that dopamine hit. So celebrate success and share positive feedback regularly as you progress through the quarter. Every time you do it, you're saying, yes, this is what we want. We want more of this. Well done. And your team members will feel great to be praised, further boosting dopamine levels. Thirdly, ask your team the right questions. You don't need to know all the answers, but you do need to know the right questions to ask. Here are just a few empowering questions you could use in a team meeting. The first is the very simple, how could we? This is a problem-solving question. It helps people move from the problem to the solution more quickly. And then, what's one big goal we could set that could dramatically improve our performance? This encourages the team to think bigger and work together towards it. Another is, if we had unlimited resources, what would we do differently to achieve our objectives? This removes perceived limitations and helps creative problem solving. And lastly, how can we leverage each team member's unique strengths to better reach our goals? This promotes collaboration and helps the team members recognize each other's talents. This one I particularly like, as your team members may know a whole lot more about each other than you know of them, and it builds respect within the team. Fourth, have consistent and meaningful one-on-ones. Use your one-on-one moments to understand your team's aspirations and build trust. This is when you can find out about what your team think and what they want in a safe environment. And 5, provide the resources and support. Focus on delegation, mentoring, and providing opportunities for your team members to showcase their skills and take on new challenges. And ensure that your team has the necessary tools and training and support to meet these higher expectations. By implementing these 5 steps, you'll be well on your way to unlocking your team's full potential through the power of expectations. Remember, the psychology of achievement is complex, but by setting high expectations and then providing the right support, you're tapping into your team's intrinsic desire to achieve and grow. Now, you might be wondering, how do I find time to do all this? Well, that's a crucial question, and I can help you with it. In this video, I jump into time management strategies for managers and specifically look at quarterly planning. So if you feel you don't have time to implement these ideas, I definitely suggest watching that next. Your leadership success depends on managing your time well and making these strategies come alive.